Now we'll know about Kabir. He is another prominent saint of the Bhakti movement in North India. Okay, and he was a student of Ramananda and spent most of the time, that means with his guru, at Banaras. And Kabir tried to bring the harmony between the Hindus and Muslims. And he condemned a caste system, multiple idol worship, luxurious life, and discrimination made on the basis of the religion. And he declared that there is only one God. God is one and he is same for both the Hindus and the Muslims. Okay. So he is the first person to bring the cordial relationship between the Hindus and the Muslims. And Kabir was not interested in bringing any religion, okay, and he preached in the language that is in the common man's language, like his guru Ramananda. So his teachings were become very popular and reached more number of people, okay. So Kabir he proclaimed that he is the son of Rama and Allah, okay. And according to him, it is not possible. That is, he says that there is only one God, and he also says that it is not possible to reach God either by torturing or fasting or visiting to the sacred pilgrimage. Okay. He says it is possible to reach the God only through the devotion, that is bhakti. Okay. And he taught this philosophy through dohas. Dohas means a poem of 2 lines, which is very simple and easy to understand for the people. Okay. And Hindus and Muslims both of them, they read this dohas and it became very popular, and even it has been read by the people in North India. Okay. And follower of Kabir are known as a Kabir Panthis. That means the people who follow the path of Kabir. Okay. So this is about Kabir. Kabir, follower are Kabir Panthis, and his philosophy are combined in the book called as a Dohas. Okay. Next, Guru Nanak. You know that he is the founder of a Sikh religion. He is also another prominent saint who greatly appreciated the teachings of Kabir. Okay. And Guru Nanak born at village Talawandi near Lahore, which is now in Pakistan. Okay. And right from childhood, Guru Nanak was greatly interested in the religious discussion with the holy men. Okay. And it is said that he used to travel various part of India, and also he visited a number of foreign countries like Persia, Arab, and also he visited Mecca. Okay. And Guru Nanak lay emphasizes on the purity of deed, that means karma. Okay. And he says that man shall be saved by his karma, that is work, and not by his caste or a creed. So he lays emphasizes on this. Okay. He says that purity of deed, that means whoever has do the work, it is based on that he will be reunion or he will reach the God. So he lays stress on the karma, that is work. Okay. And he says he shall be saved or he shall be reached to the God only by a good deed and not through his caste or a tribe or a sect. Okay. And he also said that there is only one God. As Kabir said, there is only one God. He also says that there is only one God, and he also opposed idol worship. And he says that God is omnipotent and the human soul cannot attain union. That means it cannot become one with the God. Okay. And he says that human being can reach the God through love and devotion. Okay, so like this, he believed in one God and also on the brotherhood. Okay, and like Kabir, he also preached in the language, that means in the common man's language, and that is possible for more number of people to reach his teaching, and he became very popular. Okay, and Guru Nanak's disciples, okay, are more interested in the his teachings, and many became his followers. Okay, and his followers are known as Sikhs. Okay, so the follower of Guru Nanak are known as Sikhs, and he had a disciple of both the Hindus and the Muslims. And it is also said that he used to make his followers to sit and eat together. Okay, and irrespective of caste and creed. And he also started langar. Langar means a common kitchen where the food is prepared and served for all. And this langar later on became as a place. It means the holy place called as a Gurudwara. Okay, and follower of Guru Nanak, as I told, they are called as Sikhs. Okay, and his preachings, Guru Nanak's preachings, are compiled in the book called as a Guru Granth Sahib or Adi Granth, and this holy book is kept in the Gurudwara and worshipped by Sikhs. Okay, so this is about Guru Nanak. Next, we will know about Mirabai. Okay, Mirabai, she is known as a Radha of Kali Yuga. Okay, the other name in the Bhakti movement is Mirabai. Okay, she was born in a Rajput family and daughter of Raja Ratan Singh. Okay, and she was married to the Prince of Mewar, but she renounced the worldly life and became the devotee of a saint called as Ravidas. Okay, and she composed songs of devotion towards the Krishna, and it is known as a bhajan. Okay, so Meera bhajan. So what is bhajan? A song composed on devotion towards Krishna, and even today she is eternal, that is well known because of this Meera bhajans. Okay, and these bhajans are sung even today in most of the northern part of India, that is in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay, so like this, these Bhakti saints, they try to bring the gap, that means they try to bridge the gap between the Hindus and the Muslims. Okay, and they did in different part of India. Okay, next, these Bhakti Pan, that is the activities of the Bhakti movement was happened in the place called as a Pandarapura. Pandarapura, which is on the bank of Bhima on the Maharashtra, was the center of this Bhakti movement. Okay, and the noted saints of this Bhakti movement were Tukaram, Eknath and Namdev. Okay, even in Karnataka, Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa were the foremost Bhakti saints in Karnataka, and they were known for their Dasa Parampare. Okay, so this is about a few saints of North India. Okay, so next we will know about Sufi saints. Okay, Sufi saints, just like this Kabir and Chaitanya and others, they brought the reform, that means in the among the Hindus. Even they, Sufi saints, also try to bring the awareness among the Muslims. Okay, and they also try to bring the harmony between the Hindus and the Muslims. Okay, and the word Sufi, it is derived from the word called as Suf, which means wool. Okay, so these Sufi saints, okay, they are called so because they wore this coarse garment made of wool. Okay, Sufi, it means that it has been derived from the word as Suf, which means wool, and they are called so because they wore this wool, that means a coarse wool garment made of wool. Okay, that is the meaning of a Sufi. Okay, and these Sufi saints, they led a simple life, that means they lived in the hermitage. And so these Sufi saints, they led a simple life, that means they lived in the hermitage, that is just like a monastery. And people from the all walks of the world, that means they used to come here for the devotional singing and the religious discussion, and also discuss their problems. Okay, and these Sufi saints gave a lot of importance to the relation that is between the teacher, pir means religious teacher, and the disciple. Okay, so they gave a lot of importance to the teacher and his disciple, and they preached that was very simple and it was able to reach the people. Okay, and they said that it was possible to reach the God only through love and devotion. Okay, and there were around 12 different groups of Sufi saint. Among them, the 4 were popularly found in Karnataka, that is in the state, in the districts like Kalburgi, Vijaypura, and in the most of the northern part of India. And these Sufi saints, they believed that through devotion and music, you can reach the God. It means it makes the individual or a devotee to go closer, take closer to the God. So music and dance with the devotion make the individual, that means make the devotee to reach the God very closer. And they composed many songs in Urdu and even in the Hindi language to proclaim that proclaim the importance of the devotion. Okay, so as I said, there were 12 different groups, and 4 of them are found in Karnataka, that is especially in Gulbarga and Vijaypura and other places of Karnataka. And every year Urus, that is a religious ceremony, is being held in these places, and both the Hindus and the Muslims, they take part in these religious ceremonies. Okay, and these rituals have become very, that is these religious ceremonies have become very popular even today. Okay, so that's about the Sufi saints. So Sufi saints like Chaitanya and other Kabir and other reformers, how they brought the revival in the Hinduism. So even the Sufi saints also try to bring the awareness among the Muslims, and they try to bring the unity between the Hindus and the Muslims. And they also taught that through devotion, that is bhakti, one can reach the God. Okay. Now we'll know about Shishnala Sharifa. Shishnala Sharifa is also known as the Kabir of Karnataka, and he is the first Kannada Muslim poet. And his parents were Imam and Hajjama. Okay, and Imam, he named his son as a Sharifa. It's a Parsi word which means a man who has a ideal goals. Okay, and he also emerged, that means later on he also emerged as a worthy man, just like his name. Okay, and Sharifa was greatly influenced by Islam. Okay, and also Veerashaiva and Vedic philosophies from his young age. Okay, and he is born in a place called as a Shishunala. Shishunala, it's a place in Gadag region. Okay, so as I told, he was greatly influenced by Vedic philosophies and Veerashaiva sect, and also the Islam religion. So he greatly influenced by his teacher called as Govinda Bhatta. So Govinda Bhatta became his teacher also, and he started a school for the children of Shishunala, and he provided the education in such a way that there was a holistic development in the life of the students. Okay, so Sharifa, who was always interested in the various the activities in the Shishunala, he used to participate in all the activities, that is in the fairs, dramas and various other religious ceremonies that was held in the place where he was born. Okay, and he became the harbinger, that means the propounder of the Rivavat literature. Okay, which is also a part of the Moharram celebration. Okay, so this is about Shishunala Sharifa. Now we will know about the Dasa literature. That means you know that foremost Bhakti saints of Karnataka are Purandara Dasa and Kanaka Dasa. Okay, so now we'll know about Purandara Dasa. Purandara Dasa was the propounder of Carnatic music, that is father of the Carnatic music. Okay, and he was praised by his guru Vyasaraja as a Dasa among the Dasas. Okay, and he also had contributed immensely to the tradition of the Bhakti poetry. Okay, with his Vaishnavism influence in this Bhakti poems. Okay, and he is the founding father of the Purandara Carnatic music. Now we know about Purandara Dasa. Purandara Dasa's original name was Srinivasa Nayaka, and his wife was Lakshmi Devi, was a religious woman. And this Srinivasa Nayaka was a miser. Miser means the person who doesn't spend money. He just hoard the money, and he was reluctant to spend the money. So later on, he distributed all his wealth and became the religious person, and spent the rest of his life in teaching the thought of the God. And he also traveled many places singing the kirtanas. That is, he wrote the poems, and those poems are known as the kirtanas. Okay, and Purandara Dasa preached this Madhava philosophy with the kirtanas, and also traveled many places. Okay, and we can see the humanism in his poem. Okay, and he condemned the caste system, and we also can see that in his songs, that is the kirtanas, a combination of philosophy, music has also been included. Okay, and he is also known as a Karnataka Sangeeta Pitamaha. And these kirtanas, which was written, written in the pen name called as a Purandara Vitala. After that, he traveled to the various places like Tirupati, Sri Shailam, Kalahasti, Hampi, okay, Harihara, and to other various places in order to spread his message, that is, Kirtanas, to the common people. Okay. So, Purandaradasa, apart from expressing his importance of devotion, he was against the false worship and also philosophies of life. Okay, and he called, that means he condemned the caste system and idol worship. Okay, and he insisted the people of inner reflection. That means he said that one should be pure in heart than the external. That means internal purity is important than the external purity. And he says that if there is no purity, internal purity, there is no use. Okay, so he stressed on the inner reflection. Okay, and he also laid emphasis on the importance of the life. Okay, where he said that one should be alive and emerge victorious. So like this, he stressed on the inner purity and also the greatness of the human birth. Okay, so like this, he had become the great revival in the Hindu religion and even in the Bhakti cult, and he sowed the path of faith in the human life. Okay, so all his collections had become the Upanishad of Purandaradasa, and he earned the title called as a Dasa. Dasa means Purandaradasa. Okay, about Kanakadasa. Kanakadasa, also famous Kirtanakara, he composed Kirtanas in the name of Adikeshava. Okay, the parents of Kanakadasa were Veerappa and Bachamma. Okay, and they also had faith in the Sri Vaishnavism. Okay, and they wanted to name their child, that means Kanakadasa, with their family deity, and they named him as a Timmappa. Okay, so Timmappa was their family deity, so they named Kanakadasa. Earlier name of his is Timmappa. Okay, once this Timmappa had come across a pot full of gold, so later on the people called him as a Kanaka. Okay, and it is also said that this Kanakadasa, with that money, he built a temple called as Adikeshava from this treasure what he got from the pot. Okay, and actually he was a local chieftain, okay, local Nayaka of the Bankapura region, and he is also well versed in the war technique. Okay, so once it has happened that he'd met, that means he was wounded in the war. Okay, and that led him to question about the existence of the God. Okay, and later on he realized the importance of the God, and with that he revived, that means he gave up his a worldly life, and whatever he had given to the people and followed the path of a dasa. Okay, and he became the Kanaka Dasa. Okay, and this Kanakadasa also had put a lot of effort to remove this discrimination based on the caste, okay, and a creed. Okay, and he criticized the show of bhakti. Okay, and he preached the people that in order to attain moksha, that is, one has to follow the bhakti. So he also stressed on the bhakti importance. Okay, and he also broke the belief of a propagation, that is, belief of the priestly class having a thought that only the people who are born in the higher caste should be will be able to attain the moksha. So he broke that belief, and he said that the one who is devoted to God can reach the God through bhakti. Okay, so like this, the Kanakadasa, who was a poet who created a literature also in the later day of his life, and he wrote many books, meaningful kirtanas, and noted work of his called as a Mohana Tarangini Hari Bhakta